To end our time today, I would like to talk to you about a concept that runs throughout Mancini's work, Church Unique, and it is the concept of clarity. Being clear about the vision that you're going to be articulating and implementing in the local context is imperative. Every time I've entered a vision casting campaign in the years, and by the way, each time you implement one in a new place of ministry or re-implement vision in the same place of ministry at a different point in time, which we did at Raleigh. We did 2 different vision casting campaigns over the course of 8 years. But each time it is just crucial that you're clear from the very beginning what you're doing. And each time you're going to learn new things and how to do it better. But in implementing missional vision, it is extremely imperative that we are clear from the beginning to the end. I can't stress that enough. Now, I'd like to take a close look at this concept of clarity and how it applies to our job as leaders, especially if we're going to be leaders that are in the business of casting vision, which I believe the Bible is clear in our call. Now, our vernacular, Mancini talks about how our vernacular applies clarity in thousands of ways. We talk about clearing our throat, or clearing the football field, or clearing the basketball court, or clearing the air. You know, if someone has a problem with someone else and they need to clear the air, or we shop on the clearance racks and we hope to be legally cleared of charges if we get a speeding ticket. We receive security clearance before we're allowed to board airplanes. We hope to clear the narrow bridge that we're driving along when we're driving along in the work zone. You know, we long for clear days when it's been raining for weeks. We love HD. I mean, we love clear colors on our television sets and our computer screens. We love clear sounds with our earbuds and our Beat headphones. We love clarity. But what is clarity really about when it comes to vision casting? I think we need to define, we need to understand how important clarity is when it comes to working with local churches, local church boards, people who lead our ministry departments. You see, clarity means being free from anything that obscures, anything that pollutes or blocks or darkens what we're trying to do. Being clear as a leader means being simple. Again, it means being understandable, precise, exact. Leaders constantly bring the most important things to light. That's what your job is as a leader. It is to bring the most important things about life, about our relationship with God, to light. It is being real about our current realities in our churches. You know, I've been in some very problematic situations in churches. We find a lot of problems when dealing with people in churches and understanding what truly is the most important things that we need to be doing as a church. So we're talking about being clear about our current realities, about future possibilities, where God wants to take us, what God is saying to us about a specific situation, what we need to do to move from point A to point B. It's going to take clarity for all of that to happen effectively. Now, many times we approach vision from the idea that we want our church to grow. You know, I think a lot of times that is the end all in many leaders' minds. I've been guilty of that in the past. We want to see numeric growth. I mean, because we've all been affected. Our mindset as spiritual leaders in the church in the United States of America or in Western culture, we've all been affected by the church growth movement of the 80s and 90s, greatly affected by it. And we've got to acknowledge that for some leaders and for some people in your church, yeah, you wouldn't believe the boards I meet with now and doing pastoral church board reviews that really all they're concerned with is numeric growth. That's how they measure their success, numeric growth. But you see, what's happened is vision for the local church has been polluted by some of those movements. Now, I'm not against church growth. I mean, we're all for church growth because it indicates health and it indicates people are being saved. But I also urge you to keep the problem of church growth idolatry and misuse of management practices in the church separate from the necessity of leading with a biblical vision. Because sometimes the church is going to decline before it increases when we're casting biblical vision. As a matter of fact, everywhere I've pastored, I've seen decline before I've seen increase in casting a clear biblical vision. So let's keep in mind what clarity helps us to accomplish. This is what it helps with. Clarifying vision is about looking to the past and seeing where we've made mistakes as much as it is looking to the future and seeing where we need to correct those mistakes. Clarifying vision requires careful consideration of the strengths of any local congregation and the limitations or the weaknesses of any local congregation. Clarifying vision is as much about identity as it is methodology. In other words, identifying who you are and what you really are is more important than identifying methods to take you to somewhere new. Clarifying vision is always about what God is already doing in our community. If you'll look around, you'll see that God is already moving in the hearts and lives of the people in your local congregation and the people in your local community. Identify what that is and latch on to it. Now, as God develops a new vision in your heart, and you help birth that vision in the life of your congregation, remember, being clear from beginning to end, letting your yes be yes and your no be no from beginning to end is imperative. If you're clear from the beginning, you can stand on the premise that is set before the people from the moment you begin a vision casting campaign until the moment that it becomes a reality and begins to catapult you into the future.